Council Committee meeting for Public Lands and Buildings on September 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Members present are Chris Moritz, Clarissa Slater, Terry Spiegel, and myself, Sierra Sherrick, as chair. First up, we have public participation. Okay, seeing none, we have Dr. Pete Maynard, and is Jill's not here. I say up to talk about the tennis pickleball courts.
Right, thank you very much. I'm Pete Maynard. I'm here tonight to ask if we could have permission to consider changing the existing tennis courts at the Paul Miller Park into pickleball courts. The reason being is right now we have 6 existing pickleball courts, which were pavement that was painted. The group that raised the money for this were hopeful that when we painted them would take care of some of the cracks, some of the things. As all of you know, pickleball's become a very, very popular sport, not just with my age group, but with all age groups. And so Jill Kim said she would be willing to, or she's interested in raising money possibly to put in pickleball courts that are more relay pickleball courts. Right now what we have is asphalt that's been painted over, nice, get used almost daily, but there's cracks, there's some issues with those with those pickleball courts. Right when we painted the courts 2 years ago, we raised some money and did that, fixed some of the cracks, which we thought was going to make a significant difference. Definitely made a difference, but kind of got what we paid for. And right now they're obviously playable, but they're not the kind of courts that a lot of us would really enjoy more if we didn't have to deal with some of the cracks. So this is strictly wanting to know if that is a possibility. The reason I brought it up is that when we did the painting, the contractor that the city had used to do the first 3 was also slated to do 3 more, which they did. I think Kiwanis paid for those. And then when we repainted, a group of us raised the capital for that. The city at that time let us know that the possibility of using the tennis courts or converting those to pickleball courts was a possibility. We did get a quote to see what it would be just for painting them, but the same issues with the current courts, the tennis courts are now have. I mean, the cracks, the grass is growing on them, etc. Why use those versus using the existing? Two things we think. Possibly when they did the tennis courts, they used base, which was for tennis courts. Also, the asphalt that you use for a tennis court is not the same as what you would use for a parking lot. We don't know that. So it's totally exploratory at this time, but we want to know if that is an option. That would be an option we'd want to explore. Plus, there are already existing lights for those tennis courts, so those could be used. They are supposed to be in working order, and so they could be used. So what we're asking for is that an option? If it's not an option, then we'll explore other options. Right now, this is all just preliminary. We're just looking at what options we might have.
I have a question.
Sure.
Because I don't know anything about pickleball. Like, never played. Is there any way for it to be a tennis court and a pickleball court, or there's yes? Mm-hmm. So we could just do it like a dual use?
Could be, yes, it could be a dual use.
Because I know one of the big questions that we've gotten so far, not just by Councilman Myers the other night, but I've had somebody else ask me is, where would people go to play tennis if
at
not?
the high school. That's where they go, and that's where they go now. The reason that these tennis courts aren't being used is because the high school courts are much, much better than the existing that are
And
here.
they are allowing?
Yes, and Kelly checked on that. And
yes.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure all of our bases are covered before we
Correct.
delve in.
Yep.
I don't.
And I'm sure they're being used on occasion. The people that I know that play tennis play tennis at the high school.
I do have a question.
Sure.
I know that
I think it was the Kiwanis that did a big fundraiser for the pickleball court last time. Did they move the Sam Sabak
No.
monument?
No, the monument is still where it
Okay.
initially existed.
I
yes.
guess that has a special place in my heart, because
Sure.
I took
My
lessons
kids
from.
learned from Sam,
Yeah.
and I totally understand.
Could we, in adjacent to this, like in the plan, maybe talk to the Bucyrus High School or schools and see if they'd be willing to take it? I mean, I just don't know if, like, it seems a little mismatched. It's not tennis anymore, so.
No, that's a reasonable,
Yeah.
But that, or if it is a dual use, I mean.
If it does end up being.
I think Sam would probably be just as into this pickleball.
oh, well, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing Sam, I could really see
Yeah.
him into this too, so.
I don't disagree. I just know, like, sometimes you get, like, I don't know how the lines would be. Are you going with
No,
a
it's-
contractor?
Right now, I will tell you, if you go to very many places, almost all of the tennis courts have pickleball courts painted on.
Gotcha.
Lines painted around them. Where was that just? Apple Valley.
It's a little
Apple Valley
shorter,
has tennis
right?
courts. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can put three pickleball courts on either side of the existing, of what now is the existing tennis court. So you
Okay.
could put 6 courts there if you
I
wanted.
gotcha.
The other side, as I said, all we're looking at is an option. This is
Yeah.
not something we're saying, oh, we would like to do this.
Right.
Okay. But good point.
All right, Brandon.
Pickleball court is the same as.
Hey, wait, James,
No, they're not.
James.
He's talking right
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry.
if you want to ask him a question, you can come up, but we need you so that they can all hear you.
Yeah.
Well, pickleball courts are 20 by 40. And as I say, if you took a regular tennis court, you would take a pickleball court from the net into the the area behind the tennis court. So for example, there's fencing at the end of each of the existing tennis courts. You could easily put a pickleball court.
That's what I'm saying, so pickleball court and tennis court is the same, like, I watched one, the first time I ever heard somebody say you were playing pickleball.
The size
I watched
is
it,
different.
The size, it does look different, but the lines on it is the same.
No,
as the tennis
no, the
court.
lines are not the same. The pickleball court is much narrower than the tennis court. So like I say, one side of the tennis court, you could almost put a full pickleball court, just one side. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Does anybody else have questions for Mr. Maynard, or Dr. Maynard? All right.
Okay.
Brandon, do you know what we would need to do to allow them to do this? Do we need to do a resolution, or do we just allow the administration?
How much is it gonna cost?
Well, he just
They're
said that they're looking
fundraising.
at raising money to do it.
We are, and I will tell you right now, Brandon, this is not something would be an option, you know. So if there's a big plus and advantage as far as cost savings, which we would hope there might be, I would tell you right now, Galleon just put in 6 pickleball courts, and their bids range from $90,000 to $183,000. So would you have to put a full base in? We have no answers for any of those questions. And right now, we're not asking the city for, as of right now, we're not asking the city for anything. Okay?
So I just did a quick Google search. It actually has like 3 different configurations. My screen brightness isn't very high,
Right.
sorry guys. It looks like it's showing like you can do 3, you can do 4 that way, or you can do 2, or you can do 1 just overlapping, so you use the same nets. But it looks like this was from a contractor that does
Right.
the, I don't know if anyone cares to see it, but.
And what they do is they're a portable net that you just bring along to the pickleball court. If you would look at the existing pickleball courts that we have right now and the existing tennis courts right now, you would see that but that would be eliminating the tennis court. But there's still space. The out of bounds at either end of the tennis courts is significant at Miller. As a matter of fact, it's much greater than, say, at the high school. Because you'll see now high school matches, people won't be able to return stuff because it's so far back. That's getting off the subject. Okay.
All right, so
We need a resolution, Brian, for this from the whole council? Or-
I mean, you can, it wouldn't hurt, but I don't think it's necessary.
Or, I mean, do we just
This committee can just give them.
allow the administration to work with them and figure out what's needed next?
Sure.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Tommy? All right.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you,
very much
sir.
for your time,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion, we approach the administration and help them whenever they need help.
Okay.
I'll second
Talk
that.
to them.
All right, so we have a motion to have the administration speak with them and try to figure out what all's necessary and how we can help out, with a second by Scheffler Slater. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that motion passed. Next, we have ordinance number 1321, but we're not going to be talking about that tonight. We just needed it back into the committee because we need more information on it. Nothing was really put in at the time that this was put in, explaining how we got here and what was going on. So we need some background information put in to make Kelly's job a lot easier and to back the city as to why they did what when. All right, so other than that, we have another public
Wait a
participation.
minute, what about open projects?
Oh.
It's not on here, but.
It isn't on here. All right, open projects, yes, sir.
Okay, going over this list, I think everything on this Pines Reservoir at Morton's subdivision can be stricken. That place is not even existing anymore.
Well, actually, that
Old
is what,
DNR stuff,
right, but that's what Right It Up is doing stuff out at the Pines, so it's still open. And that's just all the stuff that was leading up to where he's at now. That,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, we had
because a lot of
a
those
discussion,
pieces were closed, but they
options
told us.
concerning Pine Reservoir, why do we need that on there?
I would say that
Okay.
those pieces were all individually done, but we have to keep the
Seemed like
Pines Reservoir
seemed
on
like
there.
pretty-
I didn't.
Pretty redundant,
I think they're doing.
Is there a way
some-
to close out the different parts of the Pines Reservoir? Or- Okay.
yeah.
So we could probably
We don't have to do it
That all.
tonight, but we can go through it maybe.
no, like, because I don't think any of that is still
I don't think any of it is,
really an issue. So.
They're back to 17, yeah.
yeah.
If we just left maybe the, where it just says 4/20/23, I think that was when
Yeah.
we started that stuff with Ray, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, with that West
There-
Creek
there- yeah, 'cause
Conservatory,
Because we went
yeah.
around the West Creek, so everything West Creek and back, I think we can close out on
Yeah, I
that.
think so too.
Kelly, if you see anything that's open still, when you're Xing it, you can leave it on and let us know, but other than that,
Yeah.
I trust
Yeah.
you because you're really good with records.
Okay, that's all I
right.
got.
Is there anything else in there?
Can we move it just
Just put on
one
the
second?
fibers, everything go
I'm just
away.
pulling it
Yeah,
up.
right, I know, some of these are never gonna go away. All right.
Oh, so sorry, let me just look at it, because I don't have my printout apparently.
That's
Nothing.
not page number, to tell her what page to go to.
Some of them are 8 years old.
Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm fine with that, sorry, I just want to make sure I was on the same page. Thank you.
All right,
Everything-
do we have anything else then?
Nope.
All right, then, do we have any other public participation?
Ooh, I do have, I'm so
Oh, wait.
sorry, I know we just moved on. Community gardens, we didn't, I do want to mention that I need to get with Ray and probably Tommy and Bruce. We had
Adopt
the
it.
idea that I had
Okay,
been inspired about, so just kind of something that might come. I don't know if we have to do a resolution for that, or can they just do whatever they want?
well, right now, it was just up to the administration, as long as they keep track of what's going on and let us, it's
So what
when
is-
something comes, like, fully permanent and takes away the use of, but none of that took away the use of that you were talking about, so.
Yeah, because right now it's just something they're mowing. It's, so, okay. That was
Ray,
what I had.
Ray also posted something today on Facebook about out there, about trails or something on Facebook today too. I didn't have a chance to read it, but I did see he made a post
Haven't even been on.
about something. I believe that was today. It might have been yesterday.
Of course, it's not popping up.
My stuff runs in together.
Oh, we could probably take off appointments, right? The BZA, BBSA, isn't that done?
That shouldn't be on public lands.
Oh, it's plating. Oh, I went too far.
That's not us.
Sorry.
All right, so no more public participation? All right, then I will adjourn the meeting at 6:16 PM.
September 18th, 2025. Platting Committee will come to order. James Mead, Chair, Aaron Sherrick, Ricky Deshawn, Clarissa Scheffler Slater at 6:18. Public participation. Seeing none. Beverly Drive Project, we have a guest speaker, Dylan Wyatt. Come on down.
Dylan Wyatt, Keefe and Associates. So Beverly Drive project, this is similar to some of the other concrete street projects that we've done the last several years, Rosedale, Edgewood. This is removal of existing concrete streets that are in pretty rough shape, and then we put back new drive aprons, curbs, new asphalt pavement, curb drainage, that type of thing. This, while it is called Beverly Drive, it also includes the entirety of Rose Court, Wooddale Street, Cleveland from Beverly east to Plum, and then the concrete portion of Wilbur, which is just a little bit west of Beverly to the east dead end at Plum. And then there's a small amount of storm sewer that goes in as part of this project. Our intention at this point is to nominate this project for OPWC. And at this point right now, the only thing we need from you all, we've talked with Kaylee about budgeting and everything, but what we need from you all is the OPWC legislation authorizing Tommy to apply for OPWC funds. That application is due here second week of October. So I have, what more do you want to know about it?
We need an
Okay.
emergency, right?
Yes, this would need to be done as an emergency. I do have, as a reference, so you know what legislation it is. The last one that was done was, not the last one, 2 times ago, Resolution 226-2023. Good reference. It's a blanket allowing Tommy to apply for funds through OPWC. This will be the normal, applying for $185,000 out of this project for grant money.
That was 226/2023.
Yep.
And how much money?
So $185,000. Yep. Which again, the dollar amounts, nothing has to be in this legislation. It is just Beverly Drive reconstruction project applying for OPWC funds.
Mr. Chair, can I ask for emergency legislation allowing the city service safety director to apply for a grant from OPWC for the Beverly Hills construction project, drive construction project,
As an emergency.
as an emergency? There you go.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
I have a question.
Melissa, second. Questions?
The fact that we're going for a grant, there's no money that the city's having to put out.
Not yet.
There is, but not yet. So the intention is to include that, and we've talked with Kaylee about it, so I'll stick around, I'll finance, but the intention is that we will apply for these funds in October of this year, find out in January, probably February, if the funds are awarded, but we will have this project in the budget for next year.
So I guess my question is, would this be one of the subjects where this committee would just say we're in favor of doing this, and then it's passed over to finance because it's on our agenda as well, and then we do the request for legislation to apply for the grant? And I'll look at Kevin as the finance chair. Is that how we do that, or is it?
I think we're giving him permission to go either way.
Okay,
Does it say on this old legislation where it came from?
It should be on the top
right
right
corner,
corner.
don't say what committee it came
Finance,
Okay.
last time.
Oh, so we just wait till finance?
So I will take away my motion.
Okay.
And
Clarissa, you'll take away your second.
Well, she withdrew, then mine's automatically gone.
and so,
Jim, we're looking up and seeing how it was the last time.
Okay. We can wait.
Yeah, what was the number on
This one was 226-2023. There's been one since then. Yeah. For the Sandusky
Right.
Avenue project from last year, but I don't have that number with me.
And there's no need for a motion and second and a vote to say we approve or we're in favor of the project. And then we, the Finance Committee, does the actual asking for the legislation to apply for the,
That's it. I think usually we just all say whether or not we approve sending it to finance.
Remember the last time it didn't have finance at the top.
Okay.
yeah, that's what,
Does this committee approve it?
I approve it.
Voicefully?
yes.
Clarissa?
Clarissa? Say yes.
I'm listening, I'm just looking at a map of Bucyrus
All right.
for something else.
And I say yes as well, so we'll move that on to finance.
Okay.
Thank
Vita-
you.
Thanks. Vita, proposed legislation. Everybody had a chance to look at it. It's on documents on demand. Is there any additions or corrections? All righty then.
Was that a no?
So we're
No,
good.
it was a
We can
yes,
send it
there
on.
are additions,
Oh.
or there's
There are
corrections.
additions. So I'm looking at it. Where we at?
Okay, in the caption, if you'll remember when I talked about this Tuesday, I said, you know, we'll need to make this an emergency, and we're missing the verbiage and declaring an emergency.
That's at the end of the top,
After
right?
being made, semicolon, and declaring an emergency in the caption.
Okay.
Then the first whereas the city of Bucyrus has deemed it necessary. It in place of in. You ready for the next?
Yep.
Then the third whereas, after, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth line at the end where it's got the section sign 713.10, we'll want to do comma and, insert the word and.
All right, I lost you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The last sentence,
Ohio Revised Code.
section 713.10, comma, and then the word and.
Okay.
Then under section 2, just at the end where it says zoning district map, a period. And then also in section 2, signature should be plural, signatures, because you're asking the mayor and council president to affix their signatures.
Where's that at?
Section 2, second line, the word signature.
Signatures. Okay.
And then last but not least, section 4. I don't think the reason for the emergency is for the establishment of the wage scale and appointment of the council clerk.
Appointment of the council.
So all that needs to be changed, because this doesn't have anything to do with the council clerk.
Brandon, can we change those now? Bonnie, I'd like to call recess at 6:28. We'll come to order, the committee meeting will come to order at 6:20.
6:41.
6:41. He's going to do that. All right, we have the new legislation. Everything's been fixed on it. Looks really good to me. Do I have a motion to pass this on to full council as an emergency? And the next meeting will be on September 30th.
I'll make a motion to pass this on to full council as an emergency.
There's no meeting on September 30th.
Serious.
Should be.
Yeah, there is.
There's
No.
5 Tuesdays in September.
No, it'd be the first Tuesday of the month. It'd be October.
It is on the official council calendar for a meeting for some reason.
September 30th.
All right, so when's the meeting? Because I looked on the
Yeah, okay,
calendar.
no, that makes sense. Brain.
If it got on there, then Miranda must have made a mistake.
No.
Or it was moved for a reason, we just
Yes.
don't remember what that reason was at this point in time.
Yeah.
So September 30th? Is that what you said, September?
The very next city council meeting.
So we can't wait for the next council meeting to change it. That's what the next council meeting.
Right.
What?
So our calendar says September 30th is our next council
Right.
meeting.
Mhm.
And we can't change it at the next council meeting because that will be the next council meeting. That's what Chris was saying.
So it's going to be on the 30th, is this correct?
Yeah, if it's on the calendar, it's on the calendar.
Or I'm trying to find it published.
All right, while we're looking for a calendar, I want to remind everybody to sign the sign-in sheet. Appreciate you, thank you.
And we have a motion, we just needed a second.
I'll second that motion.
On the door, it says September 30th.
I thought I just seen it.
It's on the door of this room.
Yeah, and right here's the calendar. I got it printed out.
I got mine hanging on my wall.
That's what I think of.
Why was October 7th?
I guess you'll have to go back to the minutes, and I can't tell you what minutes.
Kurt, it may have had something to do with one of the trunk or treats or something in the city coexisting with the next week. I
Okay.
don't remember what it was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, we can't change it now, correct?
No.
So it's not a big deal.
It's going to be on the
there,
30th.
It says September 30th, and then where normally there would have been one on September, October 7th, that's not there, and there's one on October 14th, so for some reason, they was moved. I
Right.
don't know why. I don't remember.
Something was going on, I
Okay.
just don't remember what it is.
So the meeting will be held on September 30th.
I made the motion as an emergency to pass this on to full council, and Clarissa Scheffler Slater went ahead and seconded that.
So, Aaron,
Yes.
Vicki,
Yes.
Clarissa,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion goes to full council on September
Yay.
30th. As an emergency.
As an emergency.
Open projects.
Clarissa pointed out the appointments to BZA and BBSA.
That was already removed from the list
Okay.
on August the 7th.
Okay. Kelly, could you make sure they are removed?
And then we could also move, or remove, the planning commission letter, which is right above the appointment to BZA and BBSA. That had to do with meeting in special session to schedule a public hearing, and that was a public hearing to do with Avita, and that's been done. So that could be removed.
So that has nothing to do with, right above it, it says the annexation of.
No, it's just putting the wrong.
Okay. So Kelly, do you got that? And you can remove both those for us? Thank you. Public participation.
I do have one other, I'm sorry, open projects. This encroachment agreement that has to do with,
That has to do with,
the utility companies. I mean, I'm looking here at the transcript for our meeting on 9/4/25, and it says, motion was made to create an encroachment agreement legislation with Avita between our utility company or between any of the utility companies in the city of Bucyrus. That would be sanitary, water lines, and storm sewer. Mike, you had mentioned at that meeting.
Do we need this?
come on up.
I believe, and I can check with Isaac tomorrow because he's the surveyor, not me. I think that this can be handled with a general utility easement from Avita to the city as a part of their roadway vacation plat.
I think we're covered statutorily, but, or at least that's the conclusion that Landon and I came to while we were reading the statute. But it doesn't matter, we can do the encroachment agreement. It's not gonna hurt anything.
I do think that it would be good as a part of the easement anyways to have, I know it was brought up at the last meeting about, we have a storm sewer that's shallow, a 4-foot diameter storm sewer that's 20 feet deep, a sanitary sewer and a water line, all that's under the pavement currently. But it would be good, Avita is improving that site that will be under partially asphalt and partially sidewalks. So it'd be good to just know that if we have to work on any of those utilities that, typically it would be the city bears the cost of any restoration there. But that should be written into part of the easement. But I don't think, the encroachment agreement is just above and beyond, but I don't think we have to do it.
We don't have to do the encroachment agreement?
Correct, but we do need to put in place an easement.
Perfect.
And putting an easement in place, does that require legislation?
Yes.
Probably,
Yes, 'cause it's-
Avita and their surveyor would be the one creating the plat and legal description, and then their legal should create the easement, and your legislation would just be authorizing the service director to sign that easement, and law director if that's needed,
Okay.
to sign that easement, but there should be no work that the city has to do to create that.
That's what I like to hear.
And you're saying that we would just sign an encroachment agreement with them that they create?
Not an easement, just an easement. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, the encroachment agreement is it's an above and beyond type of thing. But all of that verbiage can be written into a normal easement as far as restoration and all that.
Okay, after all that, Brandon, what do we need?
We need a resolution that says we authorize and direct the service safety director and myself to sign the easement that will be created by Avita regarding all of the things he just said.
The utilities in the Plants Way right away, the vacated Plants Way right away.
Go ahead.
So the city owns that street now.
Mhm.
And we're conveying title to street to Avita, but we're retaining
The easement
easement
for all the
through it,
utilities. Yeah,
basically, whatever resolution conveyed the roadway to Avita, we retained and didn't ever give them the easement. Or are we asking for it back because we accidentally gave them full title?
I don't, none of that has been vacated yet. That roadway as a part of the normal process with Avita, they're putting in the new connector roadway between Pleasant Hill Drive and Plants Way. That road, north and south section, it cannot be vacated until the city accepts that new connector road. So the city still retains ownership right now of that right of way because the vacation plan.
Title or vacated, or is it wrote in it at that time, we're conveying it, except we're retaining the easement?
It probably should be, because there will be a plat that goes, a vacation plat that goes along with the vacation of that road. And on that vacation plat, the easement should be able to be shown there.
Is this, we've already done a piece of legislation vacating and a piece of legislation dedicating. That was something different?
Yes, because
Okay.
those were both, if I remember correctly, those were both pending approval and acceptance of the street improvements.
So in other
They're
words,
building a road right out there currently. we don't own that road until we accept the final improvements.
So then the two pieces of legislation that we passed should not have been passed?
I don't know that, but I think that they would, it should have been, I guess, I don't know for certain, it should have been put in place that they were contingent on acceptance of the roadway.
Oh, there was nothing, no reference to contingent.
Well, we've had the discussion with Avita. I do know that. Yeah. I know we have discussed that with them, but again, I don't have the legislation.
Legal firm, that legislation.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't there an outside legal firm that had something to do with that, all them?
Well, I mean, the legislation, was it prepared by outside legal counsel or Avita's?
Does it matter at this point? What do we need to do to fix it? Just this
So-
resolution?
Kelly has something.
Kelly, go ahead.
May I repeat the motion
I
that
don't have any of
Dylan
my Avita
suggested,
stuff with me.
so we have it correct?
Sure.
Did you say authorize the service safety director and law director to sign Avita's easement for utilities and vacated Plants Way?
That would be within the vacated portion of Pleasant Hill Drive, not Plants Way.
Okay,
Yeah.
vacated portion of
Pleasant Hill Drive, yep.
Thank you.
I know that.
Are you good with that?
That wasn't prepared by outside.
Can you read it back to me?
Yes. I have authorizing the service safety director and law director to sign Avita's easement for utilities and vacated portion of Pleasant Hill Drive.
Does this need to be an emergency? I don't think
I
so, because.
Don't think so.
I don't think so. All right, no emergency.
And then one more quick question. Did you say in the future then we'll have to have a second piece of legislation to accept the road that they can
Well, there may be legislation in place already, but the legislation that's in place should be contingent on acceptance from an engineering standpoint and a build-out standpoint.
So in other words, the road has to be complete before we accept it.
Correct. We gave Avita the option to either build out the road, we accept the roadway once it's completed, and then the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive is vacated, or I gave them an engineer's estimate for the new portion of roadway and said, you can put up a bond for this amount and we'll go ahead and vacate this north section of Pleasant Hill Drive today. So they had those two options. They chose to just build the road first.
Yeah, that was ordinance 33 and ordinance 34. 34 for the vacating of the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive. That's interesting. There's an H missing there. And then ordinance 33 did the dedicating a public street to be referred to as Pleasant Hill Drive. Those pieces were passed on July 31st. So, what are we going to do here?
I think we need to legally research the issue out more, because it sounds like there might be some loose ends, and I'd rather be right than having something drawn up and be wrong.
Sure. Brandon?
Should we be making his motion tonight, though?
Yeah, can we get this
I'll make a
in
motion with the wording that she read twice.
I'll second that motion.
Aaron?
Yes.
Hey,
Clarissa?
Dylan, I'm looking at your ayes. Are you thinking of something? Or do you not want to say?
No, I just know that how the legislation is written is fine as long as everything goes well, which is what you're kind of getting at here. It is fine as long as everything goes well. And from an administrative standpoint, I mean, we're doing inspections. Mike's been out there doing inspections on the road. We're planning next week to go out there and do inspections of the subgrade. Like, from an administrative standpoint, we're handling it exactly as I've laid out.
And you're saying if everything goes okay, the legislation, these
That's
two
in place is
ordinances
fine.
that have been passed, we're okay.
Mhm.
The only problem is if there's a
If there's
problem.
problems.
Okay. So with that being said, then we want to proceed with.
Yeah, we have the motion and the second, and Jim was starting the vote.
Aaron said yes. Clarissa said,
And-
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to ask Kelly, you know, you and I have been having a day and a half. Would you mind reading again what it is?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, I have authorizing the Service Safety Director and Law Director to sign Avita's easement for utilities and vacated portion of Pleasant Hill Drive. There's no emergency, so just period of that.
Okay, now when I did some notes here, I wrote down vacated Plants Way.
Yeah, I misspoke.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
great,
yeah.
okay.
Pleasant Hill Drive, not
Okay.
Plants Way.
You're fine. Okay, thank you, Kelly.
Vicky, yes or no?
Yes, I'm sorry.
So,
Can he finish the vote?
We did.
Yeah.
Brandon, can we have that for October 2nd, which is our committee meeting?
sure can.
Which date again, I'm sorry?
What?
Which date, I'm sorry?
Oh, he wanted it ready for the next committee meeting.
October 2nd. I just wanted. to
But now,
take
did we
roll.
not say that Avita has some work to do? Or,
I mean, they are the ones vacating the road. I believe they've even submitted vacation plat to Mike.
Okay.
I don't remember if that shows an easement on it. I will have to look into that. We can look into that and determine, but as far as I'm concerned, that should all just be one operation.
Okay.
Where the roadway is vacated, and upon vacation of the road, the easement takes place for the utilities located within that old right-of-way.
so there should be no problem with us having this presented at the next council meeting for consideration?
No.
Okay.
Committee meeting?
Wyatt.
Oh, I thought we were, oh, you're wanting to,
Look at it
I'm
first.
bringing everything.
Got
to
it.
I
committee.
mean, we can, so.
gotcha,
and-
that's fine.
We're not kicking it up to council until.
Okay,
And
fine,
we can, we'll
understand.
research on our end to make sure that everything I'm telling you is correct. And again, I'll talk to Isaac. He's the surveyor. He's the easement guy, not me. But I will confirm everything that I've said, and we'll double check with what's already been submitted to Mike. Because a lot of this may have already been taken care of.
And that next committee meeting's gonna be
October
October
2nd.
2nd. Okay, thank you.
Jim, I
Yeah.
address Mr. Wyatt.
Go ahead.
So, it's my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, because I'm not an expert on vacation of streets and stuff, but once it's vacated, like the utility easements are automatic during that process.
And that could be.
So is there a possibility that this is unnecessary? Because this was requested by Mike. Mike's the one that requested
Yeah,
this
yeah.
encroachment thing.
Yes, maybe. That's
Yes,
why I said
maybe.
we'll research it.
Let's be safe and just
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah.
We'll have it next, okay? Brandon? So Brandon, we got the easement, Beverly Drive and Avita for October 2nd.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Open projects, we already covered that, right?
Yes.
Public participation, anybody? Meeting adjourned at 7:02.
Development, September 18th, 2025.
I call the Economic Development Committee to order at 7:06 PM, members present, Terry Spiegel, Vicky DeShawn, Chris Moritz, and myself, Clarissa Scheffler Slater's chair. First up is public participation.
Me at 216 West Mary Street. I got a question. Does anybody know what happened to the old CIC money?
The auditor did provide information on that, so it looks like there is a balance currently. Do you want to explain what is on here so I'm not misspeaking? I've gotten familiar with these, but it looks like there is a balance sitting on the line in property improvements. Do you just want that?
Does anybody know, next question is after this, you can speak after me. Does anybody know how the CICs really ran?
Yes, we pulled the bylaws in our first meeting. That would be a specialty of the law director who pulled it.
The bylaws, not the bylaws that the city of Bucyrus set. There are already laws that are in effect through the state of Ohio.
So, would you like to take the floor, Mr. Law Director?
Yeah, there's
Thank
an
you.
entire section on the Community Improvement Corporation.
Yeah, you already know what I'm talking about. So if you read the bylaws through the state of Ohio, is what I'm saying. Does anybody knows what that money's used for? It's not to be spent on nothing of the city. It's to be spent on mainly what you said, to improve the city.
Mm-hmm. The
It's
last,
also-
the last one that was
The Community
spent.
Improvement Corporation is a nonprofit. We're allowed to reinvest into the Community Improvement Corporation to keep it running. We're allowed to pay expenses. We're allowed to use that money to expand it, but anything that's left over has to be donated, and usually it's donated back to the city.
Okay, but technically, like, I looked it up. Like, I can pull out my phone and read some of it off. Like, where's my phone? All right, like, this is what I found up on it. And what it was, somebody sparked my interest at the CIC meeting because they said something. So I got in and started looking up what the CIC used for.
What meeting are you referring to?
Oh, when was it, Kurt? When was the meeting
Oh, the second one we held is
that you
The
was not at?
September 9th?
Yes. And then the guy told me some stuff that the city council told me. I'm not going there, but like I told him, but what you said is mainly discrimination. But this is what I found online. The transaction must align with the CIC mission. A social enterprise, a CIC is legally bound to use the assets for benefit of the community. Any property transaction includes involving a realtor, which that's the only thing legally that they did, was bring a realtor in an illegal meeting. It also says,
And so just for clarification, you're talking about this last Tuesday, the 16th?
oh yeah,
Okay.
realtor explained what was all going on. He should have waited until it was publicized, but we're not going there. And it says must serve companies, communities' purpose, and not privately benefit the directors or members in an inappropriate or whatever it is, inappropriate way. I'm not a very good reader. So then then it talks about landlocked and all that nobody part of the CIC, economic development, cannot buy it, okay? But then it says a CIC can receive funding from various sources, including proceeds and fees from property sales. However, these funds are earmarked for specific economic development, and I can't read very good, so I hate reading in front of people. And it says not for general municipal you can look it up when you look it up, okay? I'm just getting down to the nitty gritty of it. And then it says In the most cases, a community improvement corporation, CIC, selling the property could not use the proceeds to fund, which Lynn McKeever said, and Kurt, put a roof on New City Hall. You can't do it. So I'm making sure that y'all know this. It says the CIC funds are restricted to purposes that promote economic, commercial, industries, and civic development.
Mhm.
So if the CIC money that was spent, and according to a couple people at City Hall, if that CIC money was spent downtown doing parking lots, tell me how is that economic development? Please explain it.
Do you want me to answer that, or would you like to answer that, Mr. Law Director?
Better parking lots are important for economic development.
But
So they're public access ones. The ones downtown, if you go to
Baker's on the one, and technically, what the CIC with the money, split it with Baker's, that's legal. Because
would
they
you like
help
me
the
to
business.
answer the question, or do you want to tell
Right,
me?
but what I'm saying, that one's legal. I'm talking about the other ones that they wasted the money.
So I can't answer for what they did in 2021, but from my understanding, if you're paying for the city lots to be repaved, it gives them a place for tourism, for people who are coming into the city to park and not lose their car in a pothole.
But the CIC, even though it's a city, this is what I'm saying, the CIC cannot, it is not used for the city. The city cannot, the CIC cannot donate money to the CIC. The CIC cannot donate money to the city. It's to donate back, which Baker's own the one public lot that's downtown. When you look it up, Baker's own that lot. The CIC
So
did
this
help
sounds, in my opinion, this sounds like something that needs to be brought back to the CIC.
They don't know nothing. Economic development is where it should be at. You should be the head of the CIC. Look it up. I've done a lot of research. When I tell you somebody lit a fire underneath my butt, somebody has lit a fire.
Right, because somebody who's not even on council decided that you unilaterally, from my understanding from the last meeting, were not gonna be leased to, correct?
No, he mainly just said, I don't want your business here in this town. That's mainly what he said. It's all on camera. That's mainly what he said.
Right, so I'm saying one individual, not the entire board.
One individual, it's like this, one individual can light something on fire that can burn down a whole city, like I told him. I will investigate it, and if the CIC spent the money wrong, do you know, and it's on camera, Kurt has
Then
it on camera.
what I'll say is
I told
if
him,
this,
I said, do he know what arbitration is?
if this vendetta is against the CIC because somebody said that they don't want your
Not a
business,
vendetta.
then,
That's not a vendetta.
then what I would suggest then is whatever steps you need to take, the person you need to be talking to is this individual right here, or you can file with the court. I can't change anything that's happened from the past, none of us can. All I can do is focus in on how to improve it.
Technically, when you look it up, it's called investigation of the old CIC, the same economic development person you took over. And Brandon knows that charges can be pressed because they fraudulently used that money. You cannot fraudulently use
From
something.
2021, when I was not in this position. So
But it's
the
still-
last
but it's
time it was
still
spent,
government.
if that's what you believe, then what I can tell you is, this is not the
Right.
arena to be doing this
I can put
in.
this to bed. Ohio Revised Code 1724.10 in relevant part reads, and I quote, "If any real property or interests in real property conveyed by a political subdivision under this division are sold by the Community Improvement Corporation at a price in excess of the consideration received by the political subdivision from the Community Improvement Corporation, such excess shall be paid to such political subdivision after deducting, to the extent and in the manner provided for in the agreement, the costs of the sale, costs of such acquisition and sale, taxes, assessments, costs of maintenance, costs of improvement to the real property by the Community Improvement Corporation, service fees, and any debt service charges of the corporation attributable to such real property or interest." The CIC is a nonprofit. It can't make a profit. After all of the expenses are deducted that require the CIC to be ran, it has to go back to the city.
But how do you keep it going? Why did this one close? This is what I'm saying. Why did after the first one, why did it close? Why did it not keep going?
They created it just for the Burger King
the Burger
transfer,
King,
and then nobody wanted to
Baker's.
do anything else with it, and it just sat vacant.
Exactly, but it should always stayed open and the money should still been there. It's to put back in, like, one thing that made me mad is how they said, well, we gonna sell the properties, all these property adjacent. That's another thing that made me mad. What, them properties that are big enough to set a house on, there's somebody, like she said, that wants to build a brand new house, okay? Like she offered. Mainly, what she said is true. I like your, I'm not sitting here, what you said
I know you're
was
not,
true.
I know that
She,
you're not.
that is
direct-
mainly, that money is to, like, let's say if she knows somebody wants to build a brand new house, that's what that money is used for. It's to help bring economic back into the city. That,
Well-
man, you go online and look this up.
The only thing that I will argue with that is that we can't just be giving money to somebody to build a house.
It's not. What I'm saying is that money is mainly, the CIC can take that money. Let's say if they sell, the realtor bought that building for $275,000. You can build a new house on one of them properties and turn it down around and resell it,
What I
like the
think-
Metro or something.
What I think is being conflated is that we can either use it to buy more properties.
More properties, or you invest it back into the community. You
Right.
build your community with that money.
And that money, as stated in the statute, goes, they're bringing it back to the city for them
It
to
should never
decide.
come back to the city.
That is at the discretion of the CIC.
No, it's not.
That's what you're saying. If they're not reinvesting in new property, then it has to
Whose
go back.
Ohio revised code is that? Because when you look up CIC, this is what I did. I looked up CIC online, man. I've searched it all up. I didn't screenshot every nitty-gritty part of it. Just what I thought was wrong. Because in Cincinnati, they got a CIC, and it's been going for years. Columbus does too.
Those are both charter cities. Their CICs play by different rules.
So I think our CIC should play by our charter city rules. then.
We can't, because we're statute limited. We have to follow what the statute says because we don't have our own charter. I think of a charter as like, not the
Well, then I
definition,
think
but
we should
as
tie
a-
in with Galleon, Crestline, and bring it all together.
But that's where they're talking about joint economic development. That's different than the CIC.
But if you do it, then you're a charter. You're chartering out.
That's not what it is. A charter is basically an agreement on how the city is going to be ran based on the home rule provisions in the Ohio State Constitution. Is the simplest way to put it.
So you saying it's a good idea to sell these property off, donate the money back to the city, and just blow it? Technically, right? Just asking. Just
I mean,
asking.
that's your opinion on the parking lots. The last investment, you're saying that money was blown because it improved parking lots for everybody to use for tourism, which is part of economic development. Your opinion is, you're saying is that money was blown.
No, it's not put where it needed to be.
Again.
A parking lot, listen, a parking lot,
again,
everybody wants to
opinion
know
from
how you bring people
a
back to
choice.
Bucyrus.
Right.
Like you said, how do you get people to move back here with kids? You're not gonna get nobody to move
James.
back here when you don't have stuff for kids. Like, that's
James.
one reason why I moved out of Bucyrus.
What are you wanting us to do in 2025 of a decision that was made in 2021?
It's called somehow, some way, since you're the head of it, and you gotta
But
take
I'm
care
not.
of
That's a
this.
charter city. That's the statute for the
Okay,
charter
but
city.
anyway, since you're part of it, and you wanna get people back in this town,
Yeah, I do.
if they sell the stuff that they wanna sell off, get stuff here for kids. You're not gonna move nobody to this city. You're not gonna bring no jobs into this city.
Unless
If
you
you ain't got stuff for kids.
I don't disagree with you.
Kurt, how long have I been standing up here saying this about kids? Gotta bring stuff here for kids. I got kicked out of here for saying exactly what I'm standing here saying now, right?
Mr. Cady, I have a 2 and a 4-year-old. I am on board with that 100%.
So you
Baby
take the
steps.
money. So what you do is when the CIC does it, you take the money bring stuff for kids. You want people here, you want people to move businesses and stuff here. Like I said, I don't hold a vendetta against, like the mayor said, James, he's only one vote. I don't care. But
But you said he lit a fire under you, which
yeah, he
means he
lit a
made you
fire under me.
angry. That's what I'm
He
saying.
lit a fire under me to find out why didn't the old CIC invested,
Okay.
instead of parking lots, invested into the kids.
I can't change anything that was done in 2021. But that been the choice that I made, I don't know because I wasn't there and I don't know all the circumstances. What I'm saying is we can focus on what we can do forward, which in the last committee meetings, we talked about being a multifaceted approach, right? Businesses, community, residents, tourism.
That's how you're gonna get it here. Like I
Exactly.
said, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah. We're on
But-
the same page.
Somehow, some way, that money, that $97,000 went on parking lots. Come on, man. This should be investigated. But somehow, some way, I don't feel that that's economic development. Just saying. I'm sorry.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. I think it was almost 6 figures the last time I've seen it.
And then, by the way, Baker's own that. The city did give them money to pay that out of the CIC fund.
I can't speak on it because I wasn't.
Yeah, I know the whole situation. That's the only way how they got away with what they did, because they did help out business.
Yeah, none of us were,
Yeah.
none of us were there, so you
That's how
know,
they got
that's
away
what I'm
with it.
saying. All right. Any other public participation? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the agenda that I just hid for myself. Jed and Sita. I closed my computer and I needed it. Story of my life. All right, one moment. Where's my other note? All right, Jed and Sita. So I feel like this has been kind of Groundhog Day since we've been talking about Jed and Sita for quite some time. This was going on before I was even on council. Joint Economic Development Districts. I want to kind of just go over it so people understand what they are, and then we can explain it further. So there are agreements between the city and surrounding townships. The city can provide benefits to them at in-city rates, so infrastructure services, sewer and water rates would be inside rates. Right now, that's something I'm going to address about it. They would get, businesses in the JED program would get a income tax that's shared between the city and the township, and the land remains in the township, so it's not annexed. So the township generates revenue, we also generate revenue, we share services. The difference between a JED and a CETA, I know they're like back to back, but they're kind of related, so I'm grouping them together. They're a little bit different because they provide community economic development agreements, so consider them as like contracts. They have annexation moratoriums. They have tax sharing between the city and the township, and joint planning and development between the township and the city. So they're a little different, but they're related. The surrounding townships, just so people are aware that what we're talking about, would be Holmes to the northwest, Liberty to the northeast, Bucyrus to the southwest, and Whetstone to the southeast. We're kind of boxed in with those 4 townships. There's some properties that are near like the Crossroads Industrial Center that are not incorporated. That's in Holmes Township. The Liberty Township is at the 3098 interchange. If you think of the, I just forgot the name of the auctioneer's place. Like they're not incorporated, as well as like Timken is not incorporated. Oberlanders, and there's some other businesses. Firelands I don't think is incorporated. Like those properties are not incorporated. Whetstone, so like south of the airport and State Route 4. So the reason why this this is something that we haven't been doing, that other communities around here are doing. And the reason why this is a big deal is that we've kind of become the open pocket for the county when it comes to water and sewer, mostly water. They're paying the exact same rate outside of the city as inside of the city, but they're not paying, I mean, maybe they live in town, maybe they shop in town, but when it comes down to it, they're not paying the property taxes to support, or generating the revenue through income tax to support the services that they're getting. So they're literally paying for the water that's going into their pipes, but they're not paying for us going out and servicing them. So we have two options essentially for that. We can use a JET or CETA, or we can raise the outside rate to reflect the true cost instead of raising the rates for all citizens. That is something that's done by the Safety Service Director that we'd have to coordinate with. But the long and skinny of it is that we can't do this just in committee. It's going to have to be like a joint planning board. And that is outside of the Planning Commission's scope of practice because it's outside of city limits. So we would need to essentially have the planning board proposal and draft legislation. That's what's gonna have to be our new focus on the issue. It's not gonna be about the nitty-gritty of what is incorporated in each township, who is even going to participate in the township. But it is, from my understanding, and I will have the law director double check, it is completely legal for us to decide to put a service charge on the water rates that is reasonable for outside city limits, if they're not in a JET or CETA, and basically you could waive that fee if they decide to participate. So, long story short, I think next steps, we could have a special meeting where we just talk about JET CETA. Or we could, my thoughts are, and this is up to the committee, that we have a special meeting for JET CETA, but explicitly about the planning, setting out a planning board or commission for JET CETA specifically. That way we can get input from people who have more experience with this than we do and can operate outside of us four. So I wanted the opinion of the committee on what they think is best. I don't think this is something we should try to tackle on our own. I think we should get more eyes and more expertise on it.
I definitely agree with that.
I mean, I think the first step we need to do is to contact townships and see if there's an interest in it. Because it's my understanding that they would get, we can negotiate them some income tax revenue.
Right.
Which they do not get at all now.
Correct. It would
And-
generate revenue for both of us.
Yes.
The only thing that I can say is, I don't disagree with you. But I think if we don't have a plan, they might be wishy-washy. If we're just coming at them with a blank slate of, hey, do you want to do this? And be like, we hem and haw for how long? I don't know.
There was, at that meeting I went to, there were some trustees there, so they know what it is.
Right, right.
And I got the opinion they weren't that interested in it, in my opinion. I don't know what Jim thought about it, but I did not think too much of it. But
Jeremy, we already have a planning commission.
Yeah, their scope is for the inside the city limits, but there's no scope for this.
For them, because when the lawyer explained it to us, it was in between the administration and the townships. They come up with agreement, they give it to a lawyer, he comes up with a contract, and they both sign it.
That's a CRA.
Yeah.
But JET is different than a CRA.
True,
So that's why these decisions to be made, I don't think we can solve it us
CETA is for existing
four.
businesses, JED is for incoming businesses. So, I don't know, it's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, the easiest thing to do is make them pay their fair share, since we've been basically giving them free aid when it comes to free services, I guess, for servicing their lines. Go ahead.
Logan Beeman. That's exactly what I was going to say. What's stopping us from just giving them a service charge, and then if they want out of it, they
Then
can
you
do
have
a
a
JED or
JED or
CETA.
CETA.
Yeah.
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. Me and Terry talked after the last meeting. We both agreed. I've already talked to several people that were at that meeting. Trustees want nothing to do with this city. You're wasting time. Okay? I proposed to Terry the last time. He kind of agreed with me that a letter should be sent to the trustees by the administration, because that's where it is. It's between the administration and the trustees, not with this council. To send that letter off, to ask them if they even would consider either one of these, an informal letter, and that's all it takes. And that if they don't want to become, if any of the townships do not want to become involved, then it's dead. It's over. Move on. Quit beating a dead horse deader. Okay? This has been going on for months and months, since last year, when we kept getting no report on JED and CETA, okay, by the former third ward council person.
And we
Nothing.
had a meeting about the JED or CETA, what was it, the 3rd week in August? So we've had 2 meetings since.
No, I'm talking about way before that.
Yeah.
Last year, when all this was brought up and it was all talked about, we kept getting no report over the third ward council person. Nothing was being done about JED and CETA. It was just being kicked down the road.
Right.
Okay? So the thing is, why do you guys keep beating a dead horse? This council has no authority over JED or CETA. It is administration and the trustees. And Terry knows that that's what that attorney said. Point blank.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Point blank.
Well, we
It's
could-
between
we
them.
could-
It's between
We
the
can tell or ask the administration to do that.
Yeah, you guys can ask the administration to do it, but you, as a council, or
I'm
as
fine
this
with it just
committee,
taking off of.
you can't do anything. Now, if you guys want to raise the out-town water rates,
That's the
you
safety
can do
service
that.
director
They
too.
can do that all you want.
That's the
But,
safety
I mean,
service director.
Why keep
Huh?
beating this horse dead?
Well, and Kurt, weren't you the one that referred this to council?
Okay, I don't really want to point fingers.
No,
Let's
but I'm
I
just
will say,
saying
like,
that,
why don't we
you know,
just?
that's why we were looking at it.
Yeah, it was
because
referred clear back in 2024 to council.
Yeah, I remember the JED
And
CETA.
then it
were
was
wrong.
assigned to the Economic Development Chairman, Mr. Hickman, who was the third ward council person. And then all of a sudden, every time it came up, well, I don't know what's going on. We're waiting on a meeting. We're waiting on a meeting. We can go back to the videotapes, and I bet you it all is stated in there every time that we had committee meetings.
I was here.
It was like nothing,
Yeah.
crickets, okay? So now all of a sudden, this attorney basically told everybody, this is the way you have to do it. It's pretty simple to do, and if it doesn't want to happen, it's over. Move on. Thank you.
I agree.
So
If they're not interested, let's just, and we have no authority on it, let's just take it off of open projects.
What's that? Can you repeat that?
If we have nothing to do with it, and
All we have to
They
do
are not
with it
interested.
is to present it to the administration. Ask them to send that letter to the townships and see,
is that even our authority, though?
we can ask them to do it. They don't have to do it. But what we could do is possibly have an open meeting where we invite that attorney here we talked to us before, and you could get the whole council on what he said. You could explain a little bit better. I mean, he was pretty good at explaining it. I'm sure he'd come down to us and talk to us. I think he's,
Well, I mean, if he's basically saying we have nothing to do with it, then why are we even, again, beating a dead horse?
well, what we have to do with it is, the rates, if we want to raise those. That's our.
We can direct the safety service director, but that's separate from JED or CETA. That would probably need to go to service.
But that would be I don't want to say it,
Bargaining
make them
chip.
come into it.
Yeah,
They
it's a
say,
bargaining
well,
chip.
we're gonna charge you a surcharge if you do not come into it, and then that's like forcing them, and do you want them in a forced one? And it's.
I don't know
mean,
why
it's-
I don't know why they thought that they had to get rid of the out-of-town rate when they decided to sell to Nevada, but that's exactly what they did.
No, it was before that. It was when we went to North Robinson.
It was prior to that?
Yeah.
So the majority of, like, when I did the deep dive research into it, the majority of, we can't really talk about this, actually. We can't talk about the water
Okay.
rates, but, yeah, I can bring it up some other time.
In fact, it was brought up at a council meeting on February 6, 2024, is in the open projects when it was.
Did we get an updated, is this am I looking at an old one? The CRA rewrap is not on there. That was supposed to be next. I don't know if this is an old one.
What?
So what am I looking at? This must be an old one. That's fine.
So I got a question. So this is what it seems like to me. The old administration did a lot of crooked, good old boy stuff. Got away with it. This administration got stuck with their finger to sit on to try to figure out what they did. I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting this.
From my I'm not gonna point a finger at a specific administration, but from what I have seen from being involved up here is that there's been a long list of kicking cans down the road that is now all coming to a head all at once.
So, Brandon, as an attorney, you can't go after Jeff Reeser and that administration for just blowing the people's money?
They didn't blow money. No more than anybody else does.
Well, running water lines all the way out and didn't get nothing, getting no money back out of it or anything. It sounds like to me the people of
That's the wrong
Bucyrus.
part. That's not this committee.
Yeah, that's gonna be service.
That's service.
But again, it's actually administration that you should be
Chris.
speaking to about it.
Since you're the head of the other committee.
Well, you can talk
understand
about
what
it,
I'm
hey,
saying, right?
you can.
Talk about that in service.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll move on to
So-
rewrap CRA.
What are we doing?
Nothing.
I mean, are
We have
we,
to, if we want to do anything, we have to approach the administration on it.
okay.
Ask them if they will send, if they're interested in sending a letter to the townships.
Well, I guess at that point, it says the
Even if they're interested.
administration even interested, that's up to them.
Find out if they are.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them about it. See, yeah. Okay.
I'm very much of the mind, if it's their jurisdiction, I don't really want to mess
Yeah.
with it. If you're saying that they basically showed up and were very blasé about it, didn't care about it, didn't want to do it, I mean, why?
That's the idea, I don't know if Jim did the same thing, but I thought the townships did not want to get anything with us. But if we approach it right and tell them they're going to get income tax revenue from it that they don't get now, I'm sure that some people's going to wake up to it.
There you go, amen.
Yes.
Right, but if that was explained to them,
Yeah, that's what's got to be explained in that letter when we,
but if it was already explained to them at that meeting, they don't care.
but it was only one or two trustees from each
Gotcha.
one. And they might not go back and tell them all that. You don't know.
And not all the townships are represented.
Yes.
They don't want to get screwed.
So do we have a motion to ask the administration to,
We don't need that. I
Okay,
I'll
yeah, just go
I'll
ask 'em.
talk to them.
yes?
One of the biggest advantages for the townships to agree to a JED is situations where there's directly contiguous property, think large amounts of farmland that are continually being annexed in situations where the property owner is consenting. There's certain things like the Aldi one. That was annexed, the townships the townships don't have to sign off in that, it's like a type 2 annexation situation. And, you know, they're saying they don't want, if they're saying they don't want in a JED now, and then situations come up where, let's say a large developer's coming in, they buy a piece of farmland, they say, we want to be annexed in because we want to 8-inch water main, and the only way the city's gonna agree to run something like that is if you annex in. So, in those situations, the townships could be losing their
Land.
township without their consent.
Right.
And it could continue on, and it could continue out as far as it can go. But in a JED CETA, it can be writ that there will be no annexation.
Right, a
So-
moratorium on annexation. I mentioned that. No, I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying like, I don't like sticking my thumbs in pies that aren't my business
So in
when it comes
in addition to the
council.
possible income tax revenue that they could be getting a guarantee of the no annexation. And then the other, where I see a potential benefit to, like around where the Timken subdivision is, and you got all this weaving in and out.
It's
and,
terrible.
The ambulance service. So
Yeah.
certain areas, you're getting an ambulance from, you know, however far away it is to drive to Sulphur, and then you walk across the street and you fall over and you're getting an ambulance from just downtown Bucyrus. So in
Would
those
be-
situations, those residents, if those residents decide they don't feel like an ambulance is coming quick enough, they can pressure their trustees, township trustees, to start negotiating with the administration and saying, hey, maybe we want a JED or a CETA, but just in this little pocketed area here.
And the thing is, what I say though, is that sounds all well and good, but we end up doing it anyway, so they don't care. The Timken runs everything, like, you know, whenever there's anything out there, we're doing the runs anyway because we have that joint service agreement, so they don't care. I mean, that's what I'm saying, we've been the open hand for how long?
That's not true.
On a squad call, it's not true. If they have,
What Kurt's saying is correct. The urgent healthcare, I watched it. I was sitting in a Napa parking lot and a squad call came, and an ambulance came all the way from Sulphur Springs to go to the urgent healthcare, right there beside
that's ridiculous.
Rigo.
But from my understanding, if they're not available or they're too far away, they'll tell them the joint service thing makes them
If they're
go.
not available. In this, it has
Gotcha.
already got another call.
Well,
I believe it also says in there that they can say no if it would put their specific jurisdiction in danger by complying with it. So if there's only one ambulance for Sulphur Springs, for example, they can say no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's for offering mutual aid. You can't deplete your local resources to extend mutual aid. So we could say, we're not gonna send one to you if it depletes our resources. You can't say no to your own jurisdiction you cover.
Okay.
what's next?
So, what's next? The CRA rewrap program. I'll basically sum it up as, I think, again, that this probably should go to some sort of development board. I don't think that I think this is, there's too many options. There needs to be experts looking at this to make sure it's done right. We can have an idea and a vision, but I don't know if we are the appropriate people to be making the decisions on what is dilapidated properties and which areas should be prioritized. You know, what percentages we should be reducing abatements by. Like I said before, it's pretty much all cut and paste when it comes to the percentages and the cutoffs and the floors for the abatements. However, we can either, again, make a special council meeting or committee meeting explicitly to discuss that further, or we can look for some sort of board to administer the program, and then that board would then become the CRA board. Thoughts, comments?
Well, I know when we did the CRA for commercial, are you talking about, and I believe it was, I want to say Poggemeyer, but don't hold me to that. I mean, it was another firm that came in and did all the behind-the-scene work.
They did the housing study and everything too,
Right, exactly, yes.
Right, and that was from 2018, so I don't know, when I read the statutes, it said that we have to have a housing study on file. My question is this updating what we have currently? Or, I wouldn't see it as a scrapping, I think it's including the residential. Because right now, we're basically, like the CIC, bringing it back from the dead. Because there's no one actively using it. We have no board. We have no officer that does the inspection. Like, we have no. Right. I don't disagree with you, James. That's what I'm trying to figure out too, bud.
CIC should have never been dead. The CRA should